Welcome, guys. It's the Crypto Sniper. Quick check-in on how we've guided on Bitcoin, and a small warning inside of what currently is a little bit of a bullish vibe. Okay, let's have a look at what we said a while ago. It was being support. Remember, these levels should just be run technically. So this has shown itself to be a key level of significance a number of times. You can see how many X's I'm having to make here to show the interactions with the 93 level. We know that number. It's not so obvious. It's not a 95, for example. But in each case, you can see multiple supports. You can argue there was quite a bit there, although they didn't breach it. It was tending to, once it broke, make target, it came straight back up. See it there. It also came back up over here. So you got, more interactions with that 93 level, and you're there now. So if you would have a rest, possibly over here for a bit, but I can see this target being made and a technical run of the 100 being made. Wait for it, right to a key level of significance. So how we finished, I can see this target being made and a key technical run of the 100K. So we've been mild to moderate bullish on Bitcoin to a level, and thereafter we expect a pause. So if we go and have a look right now at the charts and see how that call is doing, it's actually been doing rather well. We've highlighted again the inverted head and shoulders that existed. There it is. We draw it in blue for you. The left shoulder over here, quite cranky, a little bit what we call complex. You can learn more about complexity in charting with us in our method and watch us apply it and see the trades that we take as a result of it. The nice little wind up of an HVF, that's right, a small time frame HVF structure that formed at our neckline, which was the 86K that we're showing you over there. That 86K provided the target. So this is what we were just saying. We can see the target being run. The target is the purple, the solid purple line of 99,251 that sits there and represents that. That has already been run, and you can see the red numbers is 99,676. And we said a technical run of the 100K. The thing I want to just slightly warn about, so we were pretty firmly bullish there. By the way, for those that understand risk-reward trading, had you got in on the fractal HVF roughly down here at around 84.8, 85-ish, and you had a stop just below the 83.9, you would have had a very, very strong risk-reward ratio to a technical run of the 100K of about 14.79. It's pretty spectacular. I mean, even let's say you jumped in a little bit late, you waited for the neckline, you're still double digits broadly on a 100K run. And this is kind of where it is. We also said you might have a little bit of a pause and an effect once you run the 93. You can see how you got that broadening structure over there. There was quite a nervy moment for me holding long over there. I didn't like this dip in, and there's often like that in crypto, a bit of a washout to the downside before you go legging up. In fact, this broadening structure has continued and is likely to go through the top, and in that is your warning. In that is your warning that we're providing. You're getting a technical run of the 100K, but you are on an ascending megaphone, which is showing that the best part of the move came out of the HVF upside that took you through the 93K level that we were mentioning in that clip that you might have a rest at. You did have a rest. You pulled back and you rested again and came back to the 93 again. You went up and you rested again and you came back to the 93 again. I'm putting that down as a good call. And then, of course, the overall broadening structure has broadened. And now you're going to run the 100K. And the key thing I'm warning about is that the news typical vibes that tends to come out when that happens is very moon boy. New bull cycle, Bitcoin's return to 100K, hints at significant price move. That is going to design to get all retail guys to rush in. And the key point we do, utilizing HVF method, which is how we look and trade and saw us be biased to the long side on Bitcoin with a small moderates. We didn't go crazy on this, by the way, because there's other risks around. We're never quite sure if it's going to continue to be slightly insulated from the debt-based collapse in America. So far, so good for now. It's in between gold and the collapsing traditional stock market-y vibe and the debt markets, most certainly. And don't forget, this strength has been on a very weak dollar as well. So the notion that you should just be whale in strong, this is a cautious trade that's come off, and you should be grateful, and you should recognize that technically that's a broadening structure. Note how the rate of ascent went up up to the 93 that we guided, and then it's been more like that on the way up, and you're on the high side here, and that's just as the news comes in and starts saying things like this. Bitcoin's realized cap is beating records, they say. The market is laying the foundation for a potentially significant price breakout, say new analysis. Who says? I don't know who says. Profit taking is not hindering the overall bit market. So don't get me wrong, we're not a bear Bitcoin. We've been mildly bullish in a weak dollar environment, and we've got a good target run. Typically, when our targets are run, you actually get a fairly moderate sell-off and a bit of progress decay, which essentially means time's elapse and you don't advance any higher. You either go sideways or down. That's not good for your trade account, and you get more time on carry cost, and at the same time you're giving back profits. So you had a 1:15 that's made target here in the crypto realm, and now you're getting the uber bullish takes that are coming in. A steady flow of capital, lots of amazing fundamental news. In terms of the technicals, you've had a good little run, and it's worth being conservative now. So profits take at the run of the 100, which I think will come very, very soon. What is the high so far? Let's just check it for you. 99.809. You can take the technical, might do a little surge pop and go 101 something or something or other. Don't be wailing in with leverage at that point. Overall, in our view. Why? Because previously there's been a fair amount of resistance there. Let's go back to daily there and take this view. You're now getting into the higher ground that is just the icebergs above 100 that saw the 109 high and the 108. It might be a point where you roll over. Remember gold. Gold is the anti-fiat, and gold is actually in a situation where it's gone up to an RH2 and has actually pulled back a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me that if Bitcoin does its own version of this. Don't lose your heads and go long. You should have been moderately, conservatively long, trading this to the upside to the 100K from around about those 84 levels that we provided with that 86 neckline. Now you look at the gold market, little bit of easing, could come back down for a RL2 somewhere over here. You might not want to be in that environment. You might get a little bit of bid coming under the dollar, for example. You've got to recall that this has been a very poor dollar environment. A very poor dollar environment. By the way, we're not dollar bulls right now. That doesn't look fabulous. It could be a setup for a sell-off, but before that happens, dollar could go up there for a bit before it later breaks down. So there could be good bullish news to come on weak dollar later, but right now it might actually get a little bit of bid sitting at that key 100 level on the Dixie. Gold having a little bit of a rest back, and dollar having a little bit of a moderate counter rally move to the upside. But our bias is we continue to ride the trend until it changes. The medium term trend is this. So the overall assumption is down. So in time after a pullback, we can be on a longer time frame, moderately bullish Bitcoin again. We want to wait for a technical setup, but you might just get that sell-off following the gold once you've run the 100K. Okay, that's our message. That's what we said before. That's what's transpired. You want to learn more about maximizing your crypto, know which tokens we are biased investment long, which is the long-term hold, how we're in it, and you don't know them all if you're watching on this YouTube channel, I'm afraid. Our premium guys get the fullness of all of that, but you know that we like XRP. Currently not holding XRP, have chosen another token instead for now, but we'll be back investment long in XRP given the right circumstances. Is there something better? You can find out all about where we positioned on crypto by clicking the link below. We will not get it always right. We don't always get it right. That's not the purpose of this video, but a moderate, you've got to recognize in this crypto environment, it's actually the more moderated of the bulls that you've ever had. The market cap is bigger, plus you've had traditional finance correlations that have been bearish, that have sometimes dragged down. Now we're seeing that coupling breaking apart. We've actually seen Bitcoin holding up a little bit in a bad debt markets environment and a pretty bad stock market environment. That said, the stock market has been rallying. So you don't want to over assume that Bitcoin is going to be independently strong. The best thing is to keep an eye on the debt markets, the gold, and then Bitcoin to see what we expect next. Okay, look forward to updating you on a far larger, longer term basis. But right now, I want to leave you with that one watching. Did you take some upside on Bitcoin? And whilst they are getting you excited at that 100K, it's actually probably the time to take a little bit off. You might be able to buy back in a bit lower. That's for trading. Bear in mind, investment and long time frame is something entirely different. We do both, how to position for investment and also how to take a little bit out of the market on the short and medium time frames. Till next time, I'll catch up with you further. Don't forget, book a call, link below, Simple FX link below. You should have some gold links below as well. If you want to participate in any of that, you'll pay the prices I pay. Till next time, catch you later. Bye for now.
Tired of profit wipeouts and blown accounts from following trade signal groups and other YouTube channels? Looking for a better way to trade, reduce your stress, and minimize your risk? Become a skilled technical analyst and see the charts and markets in a new light using the successfully proven HVF method by Francis Hunt, while being surrounded and supported by a principled, structured, and experienced community. Enjoy a constructive learning environment while practically trading markets, supported by a bespoke platform run through browser and app, specifically designed to teach and engage you whilst learning and growing as the markets move. This is not a Telegram or Slack signal group. All trade ideas are based on a proprietary technical analysis process honed over decades, which is the HVF method, leading to trade ideas with fast-moving breakouts and tight stops, exact entries and exits, nuanced interim considerations, and ultimately, strong rewards. Submissions are graded and scored by Francis for potential high-quality setups, and we provide bespoke tools to help get the job done properly and with precision. Over time and with focused effort, you'll begin to look at charts and price action just like Francis. Community updates every day by Francis and our 3 webinars a week provide a 360-degree approach, which are presented by our experienced team of trade leaders to spot potential trades. We're a community of self-actualized individuals, spanning the globe and active 24/7, 365. The premium community provides a warm, supportive, and cooperative place for people willing to listen, participate, contribute, and to learn. We've changed thousands of traders' lives. Transform your approach to trading now. Transform your life. Book an introductory call with us on the link below.